got 8th place, which is what I was shooting for. Got a playmat. Not the best ever, but we should take a look at it and see. If anything, it'll be aggressive. Alright, to start off, for any good Gabe deck, you need Gabriel himself. So Gabe's the runner, doing criminals, doing some HQ runs, going to gain some credits off that. That's a big part of the economy for this deck, because I'm just trying to do runs. So hitting HQ each turn helps out a lot with the economy there. We also have Easy Mark. It's an okay card. It just helps because I have draw events like Diesel in here, so drawing into that gives you an extra 3 credits just to help you get off the ground. Also 3 of Armitage Code Busting. There was 3 of the Easy Marks. So this is another one that helps you get off the ground, helps you have money to run for, fund all your runs on HQ, helps you be able to get into those servers when you need that extra money. Sure Gamble, basically the same thing as Easy Mark, extra money, better value out of that card. A great card to jump up a bunch of money. Then we also have 3 bank jobs. This card, I guess it's kind of good because it scares them from being able to play down stuff, like lay down 1 ice in a remote server, because then they know you'll be able to run on it with a bank job. Sometimes it scares them. If they play a whole bunch of pad campaigns and stuff like that, which I don't know if as many people are playing that sort of thing with Wizard running around, but if you can get it to work, 8 credits is an amazing amount of money if you can ever get bank job to happen. And just having it on the table scares them into putting stuff down. Sometimes the Account Siphon, one of the best cards in the game. Keeping your opponent broke. 3 of those. Basically everything is 3 of in this deck. Making a run on HQ, taking 5 credits, getting 10 credits in return, and you get 2 tags. You hit him with Account Siphon, you try to make a run on their other stuff. If they're broke enough, they can't res any of their ice. If you can make the corp hit 0 or close to 0, it's ridiculous because you could just go anywhere from there. And then close to these are basically all the economy cards in the deck I have. It might seem like a bunch, might not, depends on how much economy you run in yours, but I run Crypsis, so I need a lot of money to make Crypsis work. Everybody knows that Crypsis isn't the most efficient breaker. It's probably one of the worst as far as efficient breakers because you gotta pay time into it, but all this money helps me keep on going with that. Then we have Desperado, sort of along the same lines as the economy. The memory doesn't really even matter in this deck, but it's just, if you can make a run on HQ, then you get 3 credits because you have Gabriel. Then you can just keep doing that almost every turn because it's great to spend 1 click, get 3 actions, look at their hand, hopefully steal agendas. Alright, and the first out-of-faction card, I have 3 Diesels. So trying to draw cards, card draw is great, works great with all the event money gaining. It also helps you to get your other events. If you're digging for money, it helps you fill up your hand if you're playing against Jinteki. A great card as far as getting cards back in your hand. And then Inside Job. This card's amazing. I don't know what else to say. Bypass the first ice, jump in there. I mean, you're playing criminal. They know you have it, so hopefully they'll be smart enough to prepare for it. But sometimes you can do even crazier stuff, and they might not. They might just have to hope you don't have it. Emergency Shutdown, fights off big ice, make a successful run on HQ, de-res a piece of ice. If somebody's brought up a Janus if they're crazy, or toll boost or anything like that, getting Emergency Shutdown to work is awesome. I mean, you paid 8 for that toll booth, and I made a successful run on HQ. I turned your toll booth back down. You can pay it again. Maybe I have another Emergency Shutdown. You have to pay 8 over and over again. It's pretty ridiculous. And 3 of forged activation orders. It's great for forcing them to res ice where you're not specifically going to run. Like sometimes I'll play it on a server that I don't even really care about to try to force them to res it just to pay the money if they have the money, which works a lot of the time. And if not, if they're really low on money, I can just start trashing unresed ice, which is pretty awesome. With Count Siphon, you run on them, get rid of their money, forge activation orders, get rid of their deresed ice. I mean, it works great, especially if it's on a place that you want to hit over and over, like HQ or Archives if you're on the sneak door betas. So I have 3 test runs. Most people probably don't run that much, but I like to have a lot of fun with it. The only out-of-faction cards I have are 3 diesels and 3 test runs. And that just shows how awesome Criminal is, that I can just run a deck without much else than that. But the test runs are specifically for grabbing your Sneak Door Beta and running when their Archives is open, or playing your Femme Fatales basically as a second inside job. That's why I have 3 of them, is because Femme Fatale. They'll have a server with 3 pieces of ice. I'll have Crypsis out, and they'll be like, there's no way he's going to get rid of it through all 3. I'll test run into Femme Fatale, put it on the one in the very back. I'll inside job. That way they have to res 2 pieces of ice, or I get in, and then normally I'll have plenty enough money to use the Crypsis to be able to get in. Speaking of Crypsis, here's 3 of him. I have 2 of the Femme Fatales just because they're really only in there to really grab with test run. I mean, a lot of times I don't have the money to drop them straight on the board. I mean, unless I'm banking a ton. But Crypsis is really expensive. That's why I have all this economy. Crypsis takes up a lot of time. But the great thing about Crypsis, he's the only breaker in the deck, is you can break anything. It doesn't really matter what ice you have. If I have enough money, I can get through it. So if he has 3 pieces of ice, I can put 3 tokens on Crypsis. And if I have enough money, I'm guaranteed to get through. Sometimes it takes a ton of money to do that. If you're hitting toll booths and stuff like that, you really want to be shutting them down. You want to be jumping over them. You want to be Femme Fatale them. But you can still get through if you need to. And that's the one thing that's really great about Crypsis. Sneak Door Beta, 2 of those. It's an awesome card. I mean, they should be expecting it with Gabriel. Of course they are. But still, I mean, they have to put ice on their Archives now. And that means they're going to have less ice to put on their remote servers, to put on their R&D, to put on their HQ. It just helps you thin out their ice. And I mean, that's what this is all about, making them spend tons of money to res ice on all different places, and then account siphoning, stealing their money so that way they can't res some of the stuff, so that they can't afford all of it. It's pretty awesome. And then I have 3 HQ interfaces, just because if I can make my HQ runs have more value than 3 credits with the Desperado and hitting it with account siphons and everything, if I can make it have more value each time I hit it, 1 HQ run a turn to get my money off of Gabriel, it's awesome. I mean, when you have 1 down, you're revealing 2 cards. When you have 2 down, you're revealing 3, and that's just ridiculous. I mean, it costs 4, but it was a great card for me in Regionals. It just, seeing extra cards. I mean, I hated getting it played against me. It was really bad. And then I also have 2 decoys, because, you know, tagging bag's a thing. It screws up C-Source. And I mean, you have to have something to fight that meta. So that's pretty much everything I got. But yeah, Femme Fatale with test run, inside jobs, whenever they have the big remote server. Get in when they thought there was no way you could. I mean, they can't stop you. It's pretty awesome. And just saving up money and using Crypsis to get in when you need to. And just hitting HQ so that they're scared to leave anything in their hand. It forces them to either play it down in the remote or trash it. So either way, you're going to try to get it. Anyway, so there you go. So that's Turbo Gabe, or Event Gabe, or whatever you want to call it. One thing about this deck is you just really have to be aggressive to make it work. You really want your Desperados giving you money from wherever you're running. You really want to hit them hard all the time just to keep them rezzing ice, try to keep them low on money, so that way you can make them keep their agendas in their hands. If they don't have enough money to play down their agenda and advance it, or to even defend a remote server, they're going to have to keep them in their hand. If they keep them in their hand, that's where you're going anyway. And then if they get too scared of their hand, they're going to start laying them down. And that's when you test run, defend fatale, inside job, just jump over everything they have, which is awesome. It's awesome to run in, get a big agenda that they thought there was no way you could do it, and you had to pay like $4-5 or whatever, 4 or 5 credits just to get in, and you stole a 3-point agenda because they thought that you couldn't get in. That's always awesome. One of the downsides of this deck is if they don't draw agendas early game, and they start getting their ice up, they start getting their ice rezzed, you're doing all kinds of HQ runs, and they become not efficient for you to do that, and you're still doing it and spending money, and you're getting low on money, they keep getting more money, they're getting all their ice up, and they just don't have agendas for you to find. And you make it to late game, it kind of burns out quite a bit. So with this deck, you have to be extremely aggressive and hit them really, really hard at the beginning. I mean, every agenda that they draw, you want. You don't want them to score any of them. So that sometimes works out, sometimes it doesn't. Another downside of this deck is because you're so aggressive, you can easily run into traps if you're not paying attention. During regionals, first turn, I ran his hand, HQ, and I ran his R&D. He res both the ice on that. He had a ice on archives because he knew I was probably trying to get there. I'm Gabriel. Got to protect the archives. So I played Forge activation orders, and he didn't have enough money to keep everything up, so he had to get rid of that. So I had Sneak Door Beta in my hand, so it was great. He was playing HB, so next turn I dropped the Sneak Door Beta. I played a Sure Gamble that turn too, so to get a little bit of money. So I had 2 cards in hand after playing the Sneak Door Beta. I run his hand first time, see Biotic Labor, I'm like, oh, HB Fast Advance. I just got to keep hitting them hard and don't let them hold on to those agendas and run them out of money so that way it works. So nothing found on the first turn. Second turn, run straight into a snare. So, I mean, I only had 2 cards in hand, he paid the money, and I was straight up flatlined. So, being aggressive, you don't want to run into traps. Be smart, keep your hand full. That's what I learned from regionals. Hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, make sure to subscribe. Check out my other videos. I do reviews. I'm going to do some Let's Plays. Hopefully I can get some Let's Plays for Netrunner, like online. I guess we'll see. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching.